The peaceful occupation of the Trenton, Ontario farm of Frank Meyers has now entered into its third week. Supporters of the 85-year-old farmer have been occupying the farm since January 13th as a defensive measure in order to prevent the armed invasion and seizure of the property by the Department of National Defense. The DND is seeking to expropriate or steal the farm in order to build a new training facility for the controversial and highly secretive Joint Task Force 2. Now, up until this point in my communications regarding the farm, I've kind of assumed that my audience sees this situation for what it is, an armed robbery. But this week I'm going to take the opportunity to address some of the points that are put forward by those in favor of the expropriation. The greater good and economic benefit. Those in favor of the expropriation say that the greater public good that will be achieved far outweighs any trauma that might be experienced by Frank Meyers and his family as a result of him being forcibly evicted from his farm. Local proponents of the government's plan, including Member of Parliament Rick Norlock, Quinte West Mayor John Williams, and local talk show host Lauren Brooker, point to the economic benefit to the community and the hundreds of jobs that are supposed to be brought to the region as a result of the new base, as a basis for the legitimacy of the government's action. Now let's consider this scenario. An armed robber enters a convenience store in your town, and at gunpoint, he forces the store's owner to hand over all the money in the store safe. The robber leaves the store with a sack of cash over his back, but he's left a thank you note and a box of chocolates for the shopkeeper. Couldn't it be said that this robber has acted in the interest of the public good? I mean, maybe he's a friend of yours, a neighbor, a coworker. Maybe he's someone who brings his car into your auto repair shop for maintenance. Or it could be someone that you have a beer with at the pub every week. He's likely to spend the money on purchasing goods and services around town from local businesses. He might even buy a round for everyone at the bar next week. Even the guy he stole the money from. So you, the proprietor of the local bar, and other businesses in town should be glad for the extra business. And the townsfolk, they'll just be satisfied that they got a free beer out of it. Shouldn't the whole town be really pleased to have such a skilled and benevolent robber amongst them, whose act of violence stimulated the local economy so much? Surely you wouldn't defend this man's act of robbery merely based on the use he makes of the stolen property. If it's not okay for an individual to steal, then by what mechanism does it become okay for a group of individuals who call themselves the government or the Department of National Defense, defenders of freedom, or public servants to do the very same thing?